Hi, you guys. Hi. Sorry it took me so long. I had a very, very busy day. Obviously, if you're reading the little paragraph with this video, you know why. We have a really big announcement, and I'm so super excited. I've been jumping on live every day. This is day 3 to share my experiences with plant ceremony here at Rythmia in Costa Rica, experiencing the plant medicine ayahuasca. And it has been the most magical, healing, transformative experience of my life. And I'm so excited because today I made the decision to return back here and to welcome you guys to come with me. And it's gonna be really awesome. Kyle Cease is gonna be here at the same fucking time. So before I go in and share my experiences with Grandmother Aya, I just want to encourage you guys, anybody who's been watching these and you're like, fuck yeah, like this is wild, please come join me. The dates are above, the steps to follow are listed. It's going to be just a week of healing and transformation, and you'll get to experience the same process that you've been watching me go through over the last couple of days. So hi, welcome. If you don't know me because you've just joined Badass Business Babe, my name is Lauren Eliz Love, and guys, last night's ceremony was mind-blowing. If you watched last video prior, I had a really hard time with that ceremony. I saw a lot of evil, I experienced a lot of difficulty, I really struggled, and I'm gonna share with you guys my story for the 3rd plant medicine experience, and tonight's the 4th, and I'm so excited. So last night I was waiting online to get in, and we have the ceremonies all in the same place. It's like this beautiful bungalow room. There's a name for it and I cannot remember what the name of it is, but it's like a really beautiful healing little place with lots of mattresses. If you guys haven't heard, like when you go through a ceremony, you get a mattress, you get a bucket, you get a blanket. So it's just a room with a bunch of mattresses, and we're waiting to get in line, and they're, setting the energy of the room, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to have the worst experience of my life, because the night before was really bad. So I thought that this night was gonna be really bad too. And just as the doors were about to open, I experienced this feeling of like, I don't want to go in there. And I got sick and I had to sit down and I almost fainted. And I mustered up the courage to bring myself into the room. My fear was screaming at me so loud, right? It was like, last night was terrible. This is going to be horrible. Don't go in this room. And my soul was calling me to just trust the process. And something you'll learn if you go through this, you can very much identify where your ego and your higher self are showing up. It's like almost as if you learn to speak the language of both more clearly, and you can recognize when you're being led with your heart versus your ego. So I was really playing small and staying in my fear, and I mustered up the courage and I walked into the room and I just broke down in tears. And I ran to one of the shamans, this girl Lindsay, who has been so helpful, and I was sobbing. I was like this little kid with my sweatshirt holding it up against my face, and just tears were pouring down my face. I'm like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't think I can go through what I went through last night. And she said to me, she said, Lauren, what happened last night is never gonna happen again. I said, you sound so certain. Like, how do you know? How do you know for sure? And she said, well, you're not the same person, and this is not the same medicine. You're different every day. And she told me to ask Grandmother Aya to be gentle with me and to allow her to show her trust within me. And I just welcomed that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So I did the rapé, which is again that smoke that they blow through your nose. And then I sat down on my mattress and I meditated, and I got in a really deep state, and I decided that this was going to be healing for me. I decided that this was going to be the night. Now that the universe has shown me who I've become, now I'm going to do this next step, which is to heal my heart, to merge my soul, right? That's the first step, merge my soul, and then heal my heart. And so those were the 2 intentions I brought to Grandmother Aya, and I wrote down like very specific things. I said, I wanted to do those 2 things, but I also wanted to see my grandfather, and I also wanted to see my brother, both of which who have passed away. And I also want to get some answers to business things that I'm struggling with, and I also want her to heal anything within my body that has not been healed yet. So I had like a laundry list of things that like needed to get done in that room that night. And we took the first medicine, because again, we wait online, we take that 1 cup, and then we go and relax, then an hour or 2 later we take the 2nd cup. And so that first cup, I went back to my bed and I laid down and I just trusted and I was surrendering and I gave up the fight. I was like, I'm not gonna fight this. My soul brought me here for a reason. This is going to be good. It's for my greatest good. I'm ready to receive it, and everything that's supposed to happen and unfold is going to happen and unfold. And that was like, you know, if Grandmother Aya has taught me anything, it is the test of fear and learning how to trust your soul, learning how to trust your intuition and doing really scary things. And a lot of us in this world are not comfortable doing scary things. You know, how many of you guys have to take leaps in your business and you've been waiting for fucking months to make a decision because you think you're making the wrong decision or you don't know if it's the right decision? Or how many of us make decisions and then we don't play full out in them and then they don't succeed, right? That's what Grandmother Aya has taught me in this overall encompassing experience. And so as she started to show her way in my body, I could hear her. It was really fucking cool. I was having a conversation with my higher self and I would ask questions because they say that Grandmother Aya is you, right? Like they're all one of the same. It's all of collective consciousness. And so when you take this drink and you lay down, you can start to actually have consult, which is asking her questions. So I asked her questions. I'm like, am I safe? Yes. What do I need to know? This is all about love. Are you going to protect me? Absolutely. And she was just showing up to answer these questions. And some of them were like really silly questions. Like I was like, am I going to be successful? And she's like, why are you asking me? You know the answer to that question. Look at your life right now. Right. And she was very sassy and funny and honest. And she kind of sounded like me. And I told her that in my conversation. Have you ever had a conversation in your head back and forth? That's kind of what it was. And I was like, you know, why is it so easy to talk to you? And she's like, well, because I am you. And I thought that was so cool, so profound. And so she asked if she could take me on this journey to heal my body. And I was like a little confused because I had set the intention to like merge my soul and heal my heart. So I'm like, well, what does my body have to do with this? And she said, Lauren, I cannot heal your heart unless I heal your body first, because your body is blocking your heart. And I said, okay. And guys, for the record, I'm just like laying down on a mattress, like going through this whole like inner experience. And I said yes. And then I went on this ride for like an hour and a half where I could not move my body. And I felt myself going through these different phases of almost like a roller coaster, but like a really, really good one. So the ups were bliss and high vibes and it felt really good. And then she would come in and she would do work on my body and I would feel certain areas within my body start to like light up and move. You know, like my stomach started to like vibrate a little bit and get bigger and glow. And she would do that work and then she would move out. And then I would feel exhaustion. It was like fucking crazy. And she kept doing that. She kept going to different places in my body and she would feel really good. She would put me in a place of trust and then she would do this work on my body and then I would get exhausted and I would crash. And it was this roller coaster, but what was happening was I was going up and up and up on that roller coaster, and every time I felt, as she healed all these elements within my body, more and more and more, I was like, oh my God, I feel really good. Like I feel well and alive and healthy for the first time. And I could feel, there was this one point where she went into my womb and I actually felt a baby. Like I felt a baby in my body. And she told me, she said, Lauren, just so you remember, this is what it feels like to have a baby in your womb. Remember this feeling. I was like, okay, great. I will remember this feeling for sure. I remember this whole fucking week for sure, right? And so she was doing that, and the exhaustion was hard. It felt like I was near death almost. These were moments where I was just so tired, and like I could literally not like move any part of my neck or my arms. I was just like just catatonic, right? And then if that's the word, I think that's the word. Anyway, we reached a point in the journey of healing where I reached this state of euphoria, and we learned in class about these levels of consciousness and these levels of evolution. And we have, you know, at the earth element, like rock, for example, is at the bottom of that pyramid, and then after that it's animals, and then after that it's humans, and then after that you just keep going and going, and at the very, very top is this like glowing white light of consciousness that we're all connected to, that we're all a part of, which is energy, source, God, spirit, Jesus, whatever the fuck you want to refer to, right? So as I was riding this roller coaster and I was getting higher and higher, I reached this point where I was at the very top of consciousness, and I saw geometric patterns and like this big magenta turned white light, and it was pure bliss, and I felt this euphoric feeling in my body that I have never experienced in my entire life. And she said to me, Lauren, do you feel this feeling? And I said, yes. She said, this is what it feels like when you move on from this planet. This is where you're going to go. Like, she let me know, because I have fears of death, right? So she brought me to the place where like you go afterwards, and she said, this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to feel like. And that, where I was, like, I didn't want to leave. Like, it was beautiful. I was warm and glowy and happy and calm and blissful and full of love all at the same time. It was fucking wild. And she said, I want you to remember that you can have this feeling every day on this planet. You can choose to be in this state every single day. And then she took me out, and I woke up and I came back, and I didn't have any pain in my body, like nothing. And then they poured second drink, and it was time to have the second drink, and there was a part of me that was like, I can't fucking move, like I'm still really tired, but they have this saying, don't think, drink, right? Like, let the medicine work through you. So that, to me, that element, that experience, I had just healed the body that was blocking me from being able to merge with my soul, to be able to heal my heart, right? So that was really profound for me. And then I took the second medicine, I went inward, I had more euphoric experiences. I saw my brother, and then grandmother Aya called me to go lay out with the stars, and the, oh God, I forget what the hell this bungalow thing is called. I'm gonna remember for you guys and I'll tell you. But she told me go outside and go lay in the stars, and so I did, and I'm absorbing the moon's energy, and I'm just in like this bliss, and it just feels so good. And then I went back inside because she was calling me to go back inside, and I did more work on myself, and a lot of other magical fucking incredible things. The Maloka, thank you, Cole. Fuck yeah, the Maloka. That's what it's called, that like bungalow where you do your healing. So Margaret says I look like death today. I do? Scary. I hope you're okay. No, I'm amazing. I'm surprised. Do I look like death, you guys? Like, I feel so good. I feel alive. So anyway, so the second phase of the plant ceremony, I started to ask grandmother questions about my life and my business and where I was meant to go and what spirit was calling me to do. And I felt myself rise up and ascend like into the stars, and it was really beautiful, and I got a lot of clarity, which you guys will be seeing as we, evolve and go to the next level in Badass Business Babe. Thank you guys for telling me that I don't look like death, because that was like, maybe that's perspective, right? But I'm really tired, right? Like, that's the other thing to remember. This is really hard work. You are fighting your ego. You are surrendering in a way that you have never done in your entire life. And I woke up this morning and I had such revelation on this. Here's the thing. Everything that you have witnessed and experienced in your life is stored in your body in memory. And that emotion is what weighs us down into this physical world. And when we're trying to get to the next level of life and business, we need to elevate, right? But we can't, because we're so weighed down by like really heavy, challenging things that we've bear witness to in our life, that we've experienced. And so, I was talking to somebody this morning. I said, it's so bizarre. We wash our clothes every day to get rid of dirt. We clean our houses. We clean every dish that we eat on, but we never clean our bodies. And our bodies are carrying with us every single day. And so I feel like in this trip, I have healed things that have been within my body for 30 fucking years. Emotional trauma experiences of victimhood, hurt and failure and confusion, and I was carrying all of those things and trying to figure out why I was tired all the time or why I was exhausted. Today I feel really, really light and just conscious and aware. And now I get to go into my 4th ceremony and ask the universe for the guidance of who I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to do in this world, how to get to the next level of life. She showed me some of that last night, which was really beautiful and incredibly healing, and I feel just in such a place of trust. And so tonight we're actually drinking, we're not drinking ayahuasca, we're drinking a different type of, it's the same, it's made the same way, but it's just a different culture. It's from the Colombian culture. The medicine we're drinking tonight literally came from Colombia, and they carry it on horses, and we have a indigenous tribe leader coming to facilitate, and I'm just so excited about that process. And I'm also kind of nervous too, because this is like a whole new world for me. Like, I don't know what life is gonna be like when I leave here. I don't know if I'm gonna get a download tonight to quit my fucking business and, you know, go become a shaman in the woods. Like, I have no fucking clue. But the only thing that I know is that I am becoming the woman that I'm always meant to be, right? I am letting go of all of the hardship and the struggle and the darkness, and I am becoming the best that I can be to serve the world. And that was something that came up last night that was really powerful for me, to recognize that, like, I'm not just doing this work for myself, I'm doing this so that I could serve other people, so I could be better for other people, so that I could help more people and hold space for more people. And so it's just wild. Like, it's just wild. Like, I've spent so much of my life not awake, and I feel so, Cola says I feel so happy. I feel so happy too. Like, I wish I found this medicine sooner. And it's been around, like, I've had friends tell me about it, but I wasn't ready. I was scared. I didn't have anybody to do it with. I felt like I didn't have support. And so today, I got a download. I said, you know, go talk to this guy who works here and see if you can hold space to get a group to come at the same time. And the date I wrote in my calendar, I was like, it's going to be these dates, right? It's going to be in April, and it's going to be these dates, and I'm going to come back to Rythmia, and anybody who wants to come can come with me. And I'm not making any money off of it. It's just to hold space, to have this beautiful experience together, to grow and to become better. And then I sat down with Christian, and Christian was like, well, that week we're closed, but the next week you can come. And I said, okay, who's speaking the next week? Because they have guest speakers who come, and it's Kyle fucking Cease, you guys. It's Kyle Cease, the man who did an intervention on me when I was an alcoholic and like over 200 pounds. And he's coming back here, and it like all makes sense, like this full circle experience that is life. And for anybody who's been watching these, who's like, I love this, please come with me. Like, I would love to have you here. I would love to experience this with you. Ruthie says, I'll see you there. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so here's what you have to do. If you're like, I really want to come to Costa Rica with you, Lauren, I want to be a part of this experience of healing. I want to become the best version of myself. I want to grow. I want to elevate. All you have to do is just sign up, right? It's really easy. You call the number that I put in the bio of this video. You tell them, yes, I'm interested in coming to Rythmia on these dates. What's the cost? They will let you know what the options are that are available for you guys, but let them know that I sent you so that they can give you the best deals possible, okay? That's the only thing you have to do. And that's it. So great. So easy, right? Ruthie says, yes, Kevin, I already got our stuff handled. We talked to Jeff. Amazing. Now, Ruthie, please let him know that I sent you so that we can have magical fun together. Amanda says, I need to go. And here's what I'll tell you, you guys. Like, this investing in this for me was not financially a stress or a pressure or a doubt, but it was for the time. This is a long trip. I am far away, right? I'm in a foreign country, and I felt really scared about taking a disconnect from my life to go do this work. And I need to tell you something. Time is the one precious commodity that we do not get back. And every time, every second that you waste not putting yourself first is a second that you've wasted not being the best version of yourself. And when you make these excuses of I don't have time or I don't have money, get resourceful. If and only if your heart is calling you to this, figure it out. It is meant to be for you. And I said to my husband, I texted him after my ceremony last night, I said, listen, I'm just letting you know things are really going to be different when I get home, and I need you to trust me. It's going to be scary, but I need you to trust me. And I know with such clarity that my heart is guiding me. And now when I'm thinking about the business or I'm thinking about where I'm going, I don't feel any ounce of doubt. It's like I know exactly what I'm doing. And everybody deserves to have that. And in order to get there, we need to remove these old stories, these old traumas, these old bullshit blocks that are telling us that we can't have what we want, that are telling us that we may not succeed in this lifetime, that tells us that we may not find happiness or a good body or a great love life. Like anything that you want right now, you can literally fucking have. But we get in our way because we refuse and we avoid the work of giving up control and learning how to align with something that's greater than us. And when you learn to align with something that is greater than you, the work that you do in the world no longer becomes about you. It becomes about the fucking work. And it becomes something about helping people. And when you're in that space of service, your success is inevitable. So if you have something that you desire that you have not achieved, that you are holding back from, that you are feeling called to experience with Grandmother Aya in a plant ceremony experience with facilitators who are so knowledgeable and full of love and here to help you become the best version of yourself, I would love to see you guys with me in Rythmia that week, end of March into the beginning of April. And the instructions are in the bio of this video if you're watching it on the audio in the podcast. If you're listening in the podcast, you can just go back and click the show notes. You can swipe up. It's like a windstorm. Oh, also, you know what I found out? When it's windy, that's Mother Earth moving the energy through, moving the energy away, which was pretty cool. I loved it. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to ground myself into what will be my most final ceremony here at Rythmia. And for any of you guys who have questions, you can DM me. You can send me a message on Facebook if you want just to have a conversation. Alicia says, how big are the ceremony groups? That's a great question. So I believe Peruvian culture, and I'm not accurate, I think Cole, who's listening, can probably share some knowledge on this, but Peruvian culture, the groups tend to be a little bit more intimate and small, whereas Colombian culture, which is what this is based on, it's about the masses. They have over 250 people sometimes go through plant ceremony experiences in Colombia, but here it's about 80 people. I do 80 people at once, and there's like 7 shamans in the room at the same time. One facilitates, and the other ones are there to support the students within the community. We had some other questions, so I'm going to go back, and if you guys have questions, please feel free to post. Kat says, holding the intention of joining you. Yes, yes, yes. Ruthie says yes. Oh my God, I can't wait to see you. This is going to be so awesome. Kat says, I would love to come. Shelly says, this is perfect. Keely says, that's amazing. Guys, get your booties over here. You can't get better than ayahuasca and Kyle Cease in the same fucking place. Do you have flashbacks of that dark? Emily, that's a really good question. So one of the things that I realized was my shadow was that I let worry overcome me. And so Grandmother Aya has been giving me little signs of that worry every once in a while today, like little glimpses of it. And when I work through it, what it really is a reminder of, see, this is how you work through this. This is how you don't get overcome by fear and worry. This is what you have to do when you get home. So it's almost like she's teaching me. And also too, when we talk about like the grandmother energy or ayahuasca or spirit or whatever you're doing, like, you know, the gender of the feminine associated with Grandmother Aya is because it's a very nurturing and loving medicine. It has that mother-like or that grandmother-like energy to it. So it's kind and compassionate, and it's very rarely, but it can be, because it was for me, can be a hard ass. It could be tough on you, right? It could be like, look at your fucking shit and get over it. So that's kind of like what was happening for me. And then my sleep at night, somebody had asked about my sleep. My sleep is really good, and then I wake up so energized. So I sleep like is almost as if you don't go to the gym a lot and then one day you have like a really hard workout, you sleep really well at night. Like that's how it feels to go to bed. And then I wake up in the morning like, well, today at least I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, it's a beautiful day. Like I can't wait to experience this. It's amazing. So yeah, that's that. You guys are awesome. I'm just gonna go back to see if you have any more questions, but it looks like you don't. Keely says, yes, let's bring Jen too. Yeah, I think Jen Casey might be coming back with us as well during that week. Alicia says, I am so HSPC. I don't know what that is. Bigger groups freak me out for plant medicine. Yeah, it might. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. You have to do it feels really good for you. Somebody asked a question in the group today. She said, you know, if something's telling me not to drink the medicine, should I not? And the answer is like, usually that's like fear and not knowing how to overcome that. So, you know, if you have these fears of like not being able to be in large groups or feeling insecure or not confident or afraid to meet new people, like it's time to overcome all of that, right? It's for your greatest good to let go of all of those old things that are holding you back. So don't be afraid to like look at that. Angel says, I will come in March. Hell fucking yeah. The dates are in the bio and you can just simply call and just let them know that you're coming with me. They have my name on record over there. And yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So thank you for being here. I love you guys and I'll talk to you soon.